Hi, my name is Amit Dhillon and I'm CEO of Kola Global. This presentation is oriented towards charitable organizations that would like to work with Kola Global to have tremendous economic and social impact in emerging markets, specifically in Africa today. Now, this presentation will make a lot more sense to you if you've seen these other two presentations that are currently on our YouTube channel. The one on the left is an introduction or an introductory presentation that talks about the basics of what Kola Global does. And then the one on the right gets into some level of detail in terms of the economic and social impact that Kola Global has today and that we would like to have more of in the future. Both of these presentations can be found on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kola Global, or you could certainly go to youtube.com and just search for Kola Global or search for the names of these presentations specifically. So this is a video that is about an ask that we have of a charitable organization. So up front, let's talk about, what is that ask? And the ask is a $1 million investment line. You could sort of think of that as a credit line, but it's an investment, a $1 million investment that Kola Global can draw down as and when there are loans to be purchased from qualified home builders. And I want to emphasize that 100% of the funds, 100% of this $1 million would be used to purchase home buyer loans. None of the money would be used to actually fund Kola Global, the company itself, or to pay any salary or any other overhead. In addition, none of the money would be used to fund home builder construction loans or anything like that. Again, 100% of the $1 million would be used to purchase home buyer loans. Now, if you've seen the previous presentation, this graph will make some sense to you, but we have this concept on the Kola platform of the Home Builder Index, or HBI. And simply put, it's a score between 0 and 100. And it's a score that measures the quality or the reliability or the trustworthiness of a given home builder. And 70, as you can see on this chart here, is considered investment grade. So anything at 70 or above is investment grade. We have a home builder on the platform, JoboMax, that is well above that level. But the challenge that we have is we have a large number, or certainly a reasonable number, of home builders on the platform that are not yet at investment grade. In fact, most of them are sitting in the 30s, so 35, 38, that range. And so essentially what we're looking for is a charitable organization to step up and work with us to really answer the question that's presented here. How do we bridge the gap? In other words, how do we get these home builders that are on the platform today that are well below investment grade, how do we get them to 70 and above? And that's really sort of the ask. We're looking for a partner to help us do that. And so from a business model perspective, here's how we envision this playing out. And again, if you've seen the previous presentations, this will look very familiar to you. And the idea is that we utilize existing infrastructure. So obviously Kola Global would be involved in this business model, and we'd have home buyers, just as we have otherwise, and U.S. Africa Housing Finance, USAHF, which is an investment vehicle or financier, I should say, that's been in business since March of 2017, would certainly be involved. But the two entities on the left and right are really key here. So on the left side, we have some number of home builders in various countries in Africa that are currently below investment grade. And again, going to the previous slide, what that means is they're well below 70. So they're sitting down here principally in the 30s. And we need to provide financing for those below investment grade home builders, and clearly professional investors, including a professional fund like USAHF, is not willing to step up to do that. So this is where we would like to partner with a charitable organization that you would see here on the right that would be willing to provide this $1 million investment line that we refer to, or you could call it investor risk capital as well. And so that's the basic business model we envision. And if you're out there and you'd like to learn more about how we would set that up from a legal perspective, we'd be more than happy to talk through that in great detail, because we have a pretty good concept of how that construct would look like. Now, we've anticipated a bunch of questions that various folks that are watching this video might have, and so we've put together, for the remaining 5 minutes or so of this video, some questions that we anticipate. So the first and perhaps most obvious question is, why do you need a charitable organization? And the answer to that's pretty simple. It's, we at Kola Global, we have an economic and social impact mission, which we really want to guard and preserve. And in order to achieve that mission, we need, as we say, some amount of risk capital, on the order of about $1 million. And we believe that a charitable organization is most or more likely to be aligned with our impact goals than, say, a VC or some other for-profit investment fund. Now, to be clear, there is a place for professional or private investors in what we do, but that would come later once a home builder has reached investment grade. Another likely question is, which we've already addressed before, but we'll sort of emphasize, is how much money do you need and what will you do with it? And again, we need $1 million investment line. We could certainly start with less, even as low as say $50,000 or $100,000, but certainly $1 million would be ideal, and we would draw that down over time, so it wouldn't need to be there, up front. And again, as we've emphasized before, 100% of the funds will be used to purchase home buyer loans. Another question is, do you currently have below investment grade home builders on the Kola platform today? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. There are multiple home builders on the platform as I speak that have loans that are available to be purchased. They're currently holding these loans on their own books, but they would love to be able to sell those in order to raise more capital to, again, help grow their home building business. And those home builders are in countries such as Cameroon, Nigeria, Senegal, Ethiopia, Liberia, and a few others as well. So what risk is the charitable organization taking, and are they likely to lose all the investment money? Now, the principal and maybe arguably the only risk that they're taking is home buyer default. And to be very clear, that home buyer default would most likely be caused because a home builder is not holding up their end of the contract, and as a result, the home buyer just stops paying on the loan. And not holding up an example of not holding up their end of the contract might be that the home builder delivers a poor quality home, which is can be common, particularly in markets like Africa. So it's highly unlikely that the charitable organization would lose all their money. Some number of those loans will for sure not default, and the charitable organization will earn a return on those loans. But then that might help offset some of the losses from the loans that don't perform. And actually, to be perfectly honest, it's entirely possible, although frankly not probable, but it's possible that a charitable organization could actually earn a net profit on this investment. And that would be, of course, if the default rate were extremely low. Now, of course, anybody viewing this or thinking about getting involved, you should assume that that's not going to happen, that you're likely not to make a profit, and perhaps might even lose part of your investment. But the one thing that I can guarantee that you will get in this whole process is you will be enabling tremendous, some would say sort of off the charts, economic and social impact in the markets in which we would operate. So what oversight would the charitable organization have to determine the efficacy of the investment? Now, we at Kola Global, we want to be extremely transparent with the charitable organization, or it could be organizations, or it could be multiple that we work with. And so we would provide a portal login to an application we've developed called Kola Finance. And from that portal login, the charitable organization could really track every aspect of what's going on. So they could certainly track every single loan that we purchase. They could get detailed information about the home buyer. So for example, maybe they're interested in understanding what percentage of those home buyers are women, for example. They would have that kind of information, including financial qualification data. Obviously, they'd get information about the home builder itself. They'd be able to track payment history and a variety of other things. Now, there may be some charitable organizations that say, that's great that I have that level of information, but I don't really want to dive that deep. I'd like to just have a quarterly report on the health of investment. And of course, we would provide that. And at any time, the charitable organization might get that report, and if they wanted to go in and see more specifics or verify what we're telling them, they could certainly go into the portal itself. So how will we define success? And so from our perspective, from Kola Global's perspective, we define success as getting some number of home builders to rise to investment grade, which again is an HBI of 70 or more. And we'd love to see at least 3, but hopefully many more rise to that level. But we would consider it to be a success if we could get 3 or more home builders to rise to that 70 level. And of course, the result of that is that these newly investment grade home builders would then be able to attract private capital to help to continue to fuel their growth, just as Jobomax has done since March of 2017 with the help of U.S. Africa Housing Finance. I think it's fair to say that Jobomax wouldn't have been able to rise to investment grade the way they have had it not been for that private capital that came in from USHF over those years. So that is the presentation. If this is compelling, or if you'd like to learn more information about how you might get involved, if you're a charitable organization or perhaps even an individual that has some funds that you'd like to deploy for this sort of purpose, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Amit Dhillon. I'm the CEO of Kola Global. And you can see on the screen here, I can be reached at amit@kolaglobal.net or on my mobile phone at 650-814-8436, and we certainly hope to hear from you.